Hey guys, my name's Sully, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Sig Sauer MPX PDW, one of the new weapons available to unlock in the Dragon's Teeth DLC. Now for the most part, PDWs have gotten a pretty bad rap in Battlefield 4, and to be fair, some of that has certainly been deserved, but a lot of it has been unfair in my opinion. So no matter your previous takes on PDWs, if you have Dragon's Teeth, you definitely should revisit them to unlock the MPX and then give this gun a try. My guess is that at the very least, after some time, you'll be pleasantly surprised with it. With its unique stats and the right loadout, the MPX is arguably the best all-around PDW in the game and brings a lot to the table to make its case as your go-to engineer primary in short to medium range. But more on that later. Let's dig a bit into the details first. In order to unlock the MPX, you need to complete the Not the Weakest Link assignment, which requires you to obtain 2 PDW ribbons, link 10 points on chain link, and get squad order followed 10 times. So the easiest way to do this is to play with some friends on a super high ticket chain link server, start your own squad, pick out your favorite PDW. For me, it would be the UMP45, the MP7, or the SR2, and play the objective. It may take a little longer than expected, though, if you haven't been using PDWs recently, and it's going to take a little bit of getting used to on the range on these things. But if you've got some teammates working with you, hopefully some people reviving you, it shouldn't take all that long. So now that we've talked about how to unlock it, let's take a look at the stats. And when we do that, a few things stand out. First is the gun's rate of fire at 850 rounds per minute. It's not quite as high as the SR2 or the MP7 or even the lead-spraying CZ3A1 PDWs, but it does sit in a nice middle ground above the UMPs and even the MX4. Next is the gun's ammunition. In the real world, the MPX is primarily chambered with 9mm rounds, and if you're anything like me, that might have given you cause for pause. If you've unlocked or even used the UMP9 PDW at all in the game, you'll know just how frustrating those 9mm rounds can be in Battlefield 4. It's kind of like throwing tiny water balloons at enemies at anything other than point-blank range. However, the version of the MPX available in Battlefield 4 is actually a less common variant that is chambered with .40 Smith & Wesson rounds. That means the MPX does 27 damage to enemies up to 12.5 meters and then drops to 13 damage at 50. That painful drop-off is similar to other PDWs, but the maximum and minimum damage comes in higher than the next best competitor, the SR2, giving the gun just a slight advantage at medium range, or at least longer ranges than point blank. It will still take a lot of bullets to drop people at those ranges, and it's certainly not advisable to do that on a regular basis and count on this gun, but even if you do, every point of damage counts at this range, and that's where the MPX kind of comes in ahead. Now the first major road bump you come across with this gun is the fact that it only has 26 bullets with a full magazine and one in the chamber. However, with a short reload of 2.1 seconds and a long reload of 2.7 seconds, it's simple enough to duck behind cover and quickly reload before getting back into action after dropping one person. Compare that to the SR2's short reload of 2.6 seconds and this gun is starting to look better and better. Last up on its list of key stats is the MPX's side-to-side recoil. At 0.3 to the left and 0.3 to the right, it's a bit more than most of the other PDWs. However, the spread increase on the MPX, the rate at which your spread gets a little wider and wider as you shoot, is bested only by the SR2. However, with the mid-level RPM of the MPX, this recoil and spread is surprisingly easy to manage, so it actually feels a lot easier to manage than the SR2 does, especially when you're talking about anything longer than point-blank range. And that's an important point I keep on coming back to because all the PDWs pretty much will perform and do the job at point-blank range. The question becomes, when picking between them, how do they perform at longer ranges? And the MPX certainly has the advantage over a lot of the guns in my opinion. So the bottom line when it comes to the MPX's stats is that it hits harder, reloads faster, and is easier to control than the higher rate of fire PDWs in the game. As with any gun, it is important to take the MPX's strengths and weaknesses into consideration when choosing the best loadout. With only 26 rounds max, you'll want to avoid firing at full auto as much as possible to conserve those rounds and use only as many as you need to drop your target. As such, I prefer to use the angled grip or folding grip to improve accuracy while bursting this gun. Both grips perform pretty much the same by reducing your first shot recoil about 33%. After that, you can put a compensator on it to offset a bit the side-to-side recoil, or a heavy barrel to give you an accuracy boost when firing full auto, and that's going to help you at range. After that, it's all down to your preferences. For me, I always like to put the laser sights on the PDWs to improve the already awesome hip fire, as well as the Coyote optic sight because it takes up the least amount of space on your screen, and when you need to react quickly in close quarters, that can become important. However, I encourage you to experiment with loadouts as always and see what works best for your style of play, because with its fast reload, harder hitting damage model, and a respectable rate of fire, the MPX sits without a doubt at the top of the PDW food chain. You can go on and on about the mistakes DICE may have made when they made PDWs exclusive to the engineering class and carbines universal, but at the end of the day, the MPX is a solid addition with a lot of flexibility and potential. So as I said at the top of this video, if you are one of the many players who haven't used PDWs in a long time, I encourage you to unlock the MPX and give it a try. You might just be pleasantly surprised as to what you find. And that's it for this weapon review, guys and gals. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, let me know what you think in the comments below, and even subscribe. Until next time, my name is Sully, and I'll see you on the battlefield.